This is your friendly spoiler alert from Marvel and Makeup. MCU spoilers ahead.
Welcome to Marvel and Makeup. I'm Quincy. Okay.
Oh, let's take that again.
No, I think we're gonna keep this.
Okay,
we can't edit it.
Okay, and we're keeping it. And I'm Kay, and this is a podcast where I teach Quincy a little bit about Marvel.
And I teach Kay a little bit about makeup.
This is Marvel and Makeup. Welcome, everyone. This is such a special episode.
Yes.
This is our fourth episode.
Is it already our fourth? Oh, wait. Before we forget, spoilers, spoiler alert. This is your spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie.
Yes, before you move any way forward, be aware there are spoilers for the MCU movies, as well as probably a bunch of other things happening in pop culture. So be forewarned. If we start talking about something and you're just like, I don't know what that is, maybe click through a little bit so you're not spoiled, or if you don't mind, then just keep listening. But like I was saying, this is such a special episode. It's our fourth episode, but it's our first episode with a guest.
Special guest.
A very special guest. And I want to say,
Yes, you're our first.
I'm putting it out in the universe. I think she will be a repeat guest because she is so entertaining, and she's our friend, so we might just force her to come back. Our guest today is a funny, special friend. You've seen her work on Camping, on Adam Room's Everything. She was a writer and performer for the CBS Diversity Sketch Showcase, and she just shot her first co-star role for The Goldbergs.
TV famous. What? She also used to write and perform on the UCB mod team, The New Deal, and she does improv with me and Kay on Number One Son when live theater was a thing. I mean, I guess we could. Never mind.
And will continue to be a thing.
Yes.
Things become things.
Yes. And so we're very excited to have her. She's our very first guest. Everyone, please welcome Kaitlyn
Tanimoto.
Yay!
Welcome, Kaitlyn. I realize you've been on screen this whole time, so that you. So maybe next time we'll switch that up so it's a little bit more surprise. But that's okay. How's it going, Kaitlyn?
Good. I'm happy to be here to talk about Thor.
Yes, that is what's happening today, guys. As always, we are going to start our conversation off with talking about an MCU movie, and this week's movie is Thor V Thor, which was released on May 6th, 2011, and directed by Kenneth Branagh. A little bit about 2011. Some great events happened that year. We had Kate Middleton and Prince William got married. Beyonce.
That was 2011?
That was 2011. Beyonce.
Okay, that literally feels like that happened like 3 years ago.
Well, I don't like hearing that.
Why not?
Because it feels, that's like 10 years ago. It feels like 2 years ago.
That's what I mean. See, Kay? I'm not the only one. Everything feels like it happened just a few years ago.
True. I mean, we are getting older, as they say. Time flies as you get older. And, another thing that happened that year is Beyonce announced that she was pregnant. So that means that I believe
Blue
Ivy
is
10? Now 10.
Oh my.
9 or 10.
Dang.
Yeah. Other things to now make you feel
Guys, she's double-digit age.
Oh,
I still thought she was an infant.
Yeah.
Well,
crazy.
I mean, I feel like she probably was the most mature infant you could ever have, because you're like, my mom's Beyonce, my dad's Jay-Z. Like, I'm not just going to run around causing ruckus. Like, everything I do is probably art. That's what I think it would be like to be raised.
She's a full-grown adult raising herself.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
Especially with them off doing, like, conquering the world. She's just like, I'm fine. I'll watch, Doc McStuffins while you guys are off touring or whatever.
Really like the open parenting.
Yeah. We're just talking and postulating about what it's like for Beyonce and Jay-Z to be parents. A couple other things that happened that year. A couple goodbyes. Friday Night Lights went off the air. Oprah Winfrey ended her talk show in 2011. Yeah. That's before, she moved to OWN and kind of like started her whole empire there.
Sidebar, I feel like Oprah has been not a talk show host in forever. So like that makes sense. It's so funny. Like it feels like she hasn't been a talk show host since the 90s.
Yeah, since like high school.
Yeah.
Wow. So
time's just tricking us all.
Yeah. Different celebrities affect us in different ways with their timing. That's interesting. A couple other things, some songs that dropped in 2011, Born This Way by Lady Gaga, Rolling in the Deep by Adele, and Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen. You guys remember those moments?
Yeah.
That's one of those songs that you're just like, oh, Call Me Maybe, that song is in my head.
Everyone hated that song. What was it? Like she make it on YouTube?
It's just
and like everyone hated it I can't remember why, but I just remember everyone hated it.
I think it's because it's one of those earworms where it got stuck in your head and it was really hard to get out,
It's Friday. Everybody's
that's
Call Me Maybe.
Call me maybe.
Call me maybe. That's the whole lyric.
Okay, now guess stop singing. Otherwise, we'll get flagged.
Oh yeah.
Will we though? Will we?
I don't know.
Were we even on key enough?
I don't think so, guys. I think that's giving us way too much credit.
That will be our key from now on. If we sing off key enough, we won't be able to get flagged.
You.
Some TV news that happened that year. Game of Thrones premiered, as did New Girl and Homeland, and a couple political things. It was the beginning of the Occupy Wall Street movement and the end of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy. So just a few things that happened back in 2011 along with the Thor movie. I don't know. Do you guys remember any of those moments being like really huge in your mind? I remember I watched all of New Girl from the beginning when it first aired. I remembered watching that. But versus Game of Thrones, I started watching that probably 2 seasons in after it aired. So, but I will say Game of Thrones for me probably was more memorable after the fact. Like, I don't remember like very specific New Girl episodes, but I remember very specific Game of Thrones episodes. Were you guys part of those fandoms?
Yeah, I remember Game of Thrones very vividly. When it ended, though, I went back and watched the first episode and I was like, dang, everything happened in that first episode.
Yeah.
Really didn't need to watch anything in between the first and the last 3 episodes. I go, he fell off that tower. That was
spoiler alert. Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No, keep going.
He becomes like paralyzed in that first episode. Like, all the betrayal stuff happens in that like first.
Guys, I haven't watched Game of Thrones either.
Quincy.
Now you mention it, Quincy. After she says like
watch the first 3 and the last 3 of Game of Thrones.
Is that all I need to do to get Game of Thrones? I missed it, and then I tried to watch the first pilot episode, and everyone said this, and I think maybe because everyone said it, it made me think it more. Everyone was like, watch the pilot episode, blah blah blah, it gets better, but it's so slow. So I'm watching it and I'm like, it's so slow. And then it became one of these things where people would talk about it and it wouldn't matter because I didn't know. So like things were going over my head, so I'd blissfully be ignorant about what was happening. And it just feels like one of those things that like the wave has gone and it's too late.
The ship sailed for you.
I would be very interested. I honestly, Quincy, if you could do that, watch the first 3 and then watch the last 3, I would love to hear what your experience of it is just watching those.
I am down to do that. Maybe we'll do another podcast series about just that.
a special Game of Thrones.
20 episodes
like a bonus episode and just compare notes. Like,
sure.
I'd be down.
I mean, and then
did you end up watching Lord of the Rings too, Quincy?
Okay, so I started the first 20 minutes of Lord of the Rings, like you said.
The Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh man, it did not age very well with the technology. And it was it felt very like corny watching it in 2021. Just like Kaitlyn's face right now. She's
evergreen.
She's about to murder me. I watched it and I was
evergreen.
like,
what?
also, I'm like, wait, time out. This is made up elves and everyone is so white. Like,
True.
It was all like,
Yeah.
like, if anything, they would be browner because they're out in nature all the time. I was like, these guys are Snow White elves. Like, what?
Little Irish people living in holes.
Anyways.
Did you
Hopefully the TV show will be more diverse.
yes. Yes. There is a TV show coming out.
Yes. But guys, back to Thor.
But we always have our like culture current event part that we talk about.
I like hearing that.
But back to Thor, guys. Thor, first Thor movie in the Thor anthology that many come later. Quincy, I don't know if you know this, but they're actually currently shooting the fourth Thor in the MCU.
Okay, of course I don't know this. Like, that's why this whole
news.
the whole podcast is about that.
It's like keep the
This whole podcast is about how Quincy doesn't know about Marvel, and every other question is Kay asking, "Have you heard about it?"
She's just like, no.
Well, that's the point of this.
That's the point. Yep. Pretty much. And it's entertaining as hell to me, at the very least.
I love it.
Directed by Kenneth Branagh. Are you guys familiar with Kenneth Branagh?
Yes, Professor Lockhart.
Yes.
Gilderoy Lockhart.
Wait, what movie is that?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
The third.
Oh no, this is my second Jon Favreau moment of this.
Oh, whoa, yeah. So Quincy did not know who Jon Favreau was, even though he directed the first Iron Man and is a very well-known director now. Well, for me, Kenneth Branagh, I knew him originally from the 4-hour Hamlet theatrical film, which is unabridged. It's the
oh my god, he is that Hamlet. I have seen. Okay,
Plays
time out.
Hamlet.
I knew who Jon Favreau was name wise. I just didn't know the
no, not Jon Favreau. Kenneth Branagh. The
and then
director of
same
this
with
one.
Kenneth. I didn't know who he was, and then now I have a face to name match the name, and I'm like, yes, I am familiar with him in Harry Potter and Hamlet.
Yes,
with Kate Winslet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. She played Ophelia, I believe. Is that right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Kenneth Branagh, his son is Domhnall Gleeson, who is also in Harry Potter.
Really? Domhnall. And from the one for Star Wars too? Donald. It's very
Domhnall?
Welsh, I believe.
Domhnall. I think it's funny that it's 3 Asians trying to pronounce this white guy's name.
Domhnall. You know what? Listen, we're trying a lot harder than a lot of teachers in the 90s when they
tried on our names. Yeah.
If I could read it, I would. Domhnall? I think it's Domhnall Gleeson or something.
I remember it is something specific.
Mm-hmm. And maybe it's Donald. Maybe it's Donald and the D is silent and not.
But he's his son?
Yeah, that's his dad. Kenneth Branagh is his dad, I think.
Wow. I did not know that. I just, Kenneth Branagh for me that's what I remember him from, because I had to watch that in school, the 4-hour unabridged Hamlet, where he directed but also starred in. He played Hamlet.
Your teacher was like, we're gonna watch this 4-hour Hamlet.
Yeah. So it was like 4 days worth of.
So I don't have to teach for this entire week.
This is at the end of the school year. This is at the end of the school year when they're like, we're over this.
Yeah.
And he also is well known for like doing directing other like Shakespearean works. But he's.
So why did they choose him for this? Because I noticed that too. Like on the credits, they were like. And like the intro and the credits, it was not Jon Favreau. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, for me, I feel like it's because like of the mythical quality of the story. It's very like mythical, almost Shakespearean in a sense that they talk in a very like elevated manner, especially when they're in Asgard, the home world of Thor. But just to start off at the top, I don't know about you guys, but that opening scene with Natalie Portman, Stellan Skarsgård, Kate Dennings, like immediately in the first shot, I'm just like, they are giving us so much like cool actor power. And for me, like growing up, I was very much like a math and science nerd. Like that's what I was good at. So seeing like Natalie Portman being like, I'm being all sciencey in the first shot of this movie was like really kind of like exciting to me. Did you guys have any like immediate first impressions when you saw, when the movie opened?
I think when the movie came out, I had the same impression. I was like, wow, there's like two lady scientists driving a van. I was like, whoa. In 2011, I think that was a kind of a big deal to have women like scientists, like storm chasers. Yeah. And there were like, no men driving the car. Like it was Kat Dennings like driving the car. And you're like, it's two broke girl.
This is what I thought in 2021. Oh, Natalie Portman's in this?
I did think that, though. I was like, dang, she seems kind of like so serious to be in this.
I didn't know she was in this movie, so it's like, oh.
Well, that's one of kind of like the traditions of these MCU movies that they really were gearing towards getting like big star name actors that were like, had a lot of clout, I would say. So yeah, the fact that like Natalie Portman was in this Thor movie for me,
also
I was like,
Anthony Hopkins and Idris Elba.
Yes, Idris Elba playing that.
He's the Heimdall. Yeah, I mean, I didn't recognize them because I was just watching, and then when the credits come, I was like, oh my god, this is great,
right?
Phenomenal.
Absolutely.
I have a lot to say, though, about that now Kenneth Branagh Hamlet connection.
Why? Let's go.
Because I feel like this is Hamlet. It's Lion King. The whole movie is Lion King. Like, it's exiled, and then he thinks his dad.
Oh, wow.
He doesn't want to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, Kaitlyn. It is Lion King.
I was pretty... And I was like, it's Lion King.
I also, there's a point when Loki's like, Dad, I did this for you, right? And I'm like, well, you didn't have, did you really have to do all this? Like, you could have just talked to him, maybe. Like, there was a moment where I was just like, just have a conversation with your dad, like, about your feelings. And then maybe you don't have to blow up a whole planet to prove this. Like, this is insane.
He's got an inferiority complex.
Well, which is kind of like where the character flaws of these, godlike figures kind of like come from, and the fact that they're so focused on like winning wars and showing their power, but when they realize that they're like not the only ones in the world, and they're actually these people called mortals, which are actually more vulnerable than them, and that they can associate themselves with, that's when they actually learn about equality and having love for someone outside of themselves and their own like self-interest type thing, which
is hubris.
Yes.
Well, see, I am familiar with the Thor mythology through Norse mythology, so I was aware of like these things. So it was really cool to get a visual of like what Asgard was. And I remember when I heard the mythology on a podcast, it was just kind of confusing to follow all the names. But then it was funny because it's like mythic, and then you see them, and for a second I was like, oh, they're just like people running around pretending to be gods. Because like in my head, like the gods were gods, and then I don't know, there was like a weird disconnect where I'm like, oh, they're just people playing gods.
That's what he says in the dark what is it, the Dark Moon or
the Dark World, the second one,
Dark World,
at
the beginning.
Is that what he says?
Say that. He says something along the lines of like, we're not gods, we still die, and then he goes, like in 5,000 years, but so right, like gods but not. Hey, can I blow my nose really quick? Is that weird?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go blow your nose.
Blow my nose while I'm talking.
So Kaitlyn has just gotten up and left.
She needs to blow her nose. I'm going to tissue my nose while she's doing that. So okay, yeah. Well, I'm gonna. Oh, she's back. Great. My stalling worked. Well, speaking
you guys
of,
gonna edit this?
No.
No.
Yeah. We're also putting this up on our YouTube channel,
so it's video and.
So tell your mom to subscribe, Kaitlyn, because
I will. She will.
Yeah.
You want to come sit in this room and watch But I was like, no.
Your mom is our number one fan.
While I record a podcast.
It's so funny.
Well, speaking of Anthony Hopkins, for me, another home run in terms of like getting such an esteemed actor. But can we talk about the introduction of not only Chris Hemsworth as
oh my god,
Thor,
he was so good in this. I loved him. He is so good. His arc is so good.
And can I add Tom Hiddleston as Loki?
Fantastic.
Yes.
Both of these characters have traveled, Quincy, you will learn, so far since the begining, since this first
sidebar,
movie.
I've seen another Marvel movie. I knew it was a Marvel movie, but when I saw Thor and I saw Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston, I was like, oh, I've seen them before. I'm like, is that this movie? And then it wasn't. So
you've seen one of the sequels of this one.
You must have seen,
Yeah. So that their stories continue, but this was, the beginning of establishing their relationship as brothers, but not really brothers, because as we know, spoiler alert, Loki is, actually from the different Frost people.
Also, can I just say, they had all these cool names for everything, and then they were like Frost giants.
Yeah. I also thought Loki was a weak name. I'm like Thor and then Loki. But now that I look back, I'm like, oh yeah, he has a bad name because he's a little weasel.
Yeah, because he ends up being the bad guy.
But speaking of that, I didn't really see, I could see why he got, is he just Loki because he's jealous? Because I thought in the beginning when they were children, the dad treated them pretty equally. I didn't think so. I was like, where you didn't see that, Kaitlyn?
I did, but
so I was like, why is he Jelly Belly?
Well, when I was watching it with Jack, he was just like, you identify with Loki, don't you? I'm like, yeah. I got a big chip on my shoulder. I have an inferiority complex. I'm smarter than everyone around me and nobody's listening to me. And now this bozo half-brain dimwit is going to be in charge and I got to listen to him. Yeah, I get it.
Got it.
You're just well adjusted.
I was just like, his dad loves them.
I agree that
he felt it. He felt slighted his whole life and he never knew why. And then
he's holding both their hands.
Yeah, but it's not the same grip.
Wow. Oh my God.
One nice and he's holding one not nice. And you I identify with villains, right?
Yes,
we do. I mean, I didn't pick up
holding hands. Oh, go ahead, Kate.
I didn't pick up on the holding hands, but I will say in that moment you do see their character difference because Thor is all just like, yeah, and we're gonna slay him, but you see Loki is more tempered. He's just like, okay, well, that's cool, but I'm not gonna be like, all let's go after them,
It's strategy.
Wait, what?
I said Loki had strategy.
Yeah. And you learn later in the movies how, because it's more associated with his powers and stuff like that. He's more of a trickster. So I just think in those first two, probably first 20 minutes or so, you get all of these great actors and great characters and establishing this. Other things that popped up in my mind was, you guys remember seeing the Stan Lee cameo?
Yeah.
Where he's the old dude in the truck.
Runs him over.
Classic.
Excellent.
Yep. And also the fact that still a lot of characters still being established. You have Coulson coming back again, and Agent Coulson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they set him up since the very beginning. And then you also have Barton. I don't know, Quincy, the guy who goes up into that kind of crane and is shooting a boat.
Oh yes. So the movie I saw had him in it with Black Widow. Hawkeye. He's Hawkeye, right?
Yes, he's Hawkeye.
Oh my God.
So
I made Kay.
He tries to get him.
I almost made Kay cry because I knew something she didn't have to teach me.
You're paying attention.
I'm learning, guys.
Did you pick up on when he in that one scene where what's his name? The Shield guy?
Coulson
was like, what is this? Who's this guy? And then they're like, Tony Stark.
Tony Stark's, yeah.
Anything or whatever.
Oh yeah. Is this one of Stark's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I was like, I get it, because I watched Iron Man.
Little lines like that. Now it's fun to like go back and watch and be like, oh, those little lines are just planting little seeds for a 10-year long Marvel takeover.
Yep. And just the fact that they were able to keep that up and just like create those little moments throughout, which just makes them so rewatchable too, I feel like. Because every single time,
They're huge nerds.
And allows for huge nerds to just go,
oh yeah.
And
like, oh.
And then other things that I thought of. So yeah, that was the introduction of Barton of Hawkeye. So that was very interesting. He gives one of my favorite lines in the movie where he says, "Are you gonna send in more guys for him to beat up?" That was really fun. And then when he says, "Do you want me to take him out? Because if not, I'm starting to root for this guy."
Yeah.
That was a sick line.
Yeah.
That was a sick, funny line.
Yeah. And I feel like even though that moment, it's funny because, we mentioned your co-star, Kaitlyn, just those small moments that he really established like such a great character and then eventually becomes so much more fleshed out. You just really appreciate that when you're rewatching these movies for that. Yeah,
he was literally in like 2 scenes.
Yeah.
But it just opened the door to everything that comes for that character.
Exactly. Yeah.
I did not realize, like, whenever I was watching like the Avengers, I'd be like, why is this bow and arrow guy even in this movie? Like, he doesn't even have any powers. But now I look back, I'm like, oh, he was just trained by sword to be insane. Like,
shield at this point.
Shield.
Yes. Sword is a whole other thing, which will come later. Oh my gosh.
Oh, see, but like I didn't know, so it just went.
It just went to Quincy.
Right, I was like, oh, okay.
That scene was so good too. I realized because we paused it. It literally comes halfway. It is the exact timing wise midpoint of the movie.
What part?
When you see Hawkeye?
When Hawkeye comes and is like shooting.
Oh, interesting.
And Thor's like is going to try to lift the hammer and he can't, and then he just starts crying. Like, that's exactly halfway through the movie.
It's also very Excalibur.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I saw that. Also, then I was like, man, that hammer must be really heavy to carry around.
Well, it's all about being worthy to carry it, That's why when, Anthony Hopkins talks to it, and it's just like, whoever is worthy enough to wield this she'll have the power of Thor, and which, again, another seed that gets planted and called back in future movies. Quincy, are you aware of that at all? Of the hammer being lifted?
I know in that movie I watched The Hammer something, and my memory's
Yeah, I don't even. What are you talking about?
My memory is so bad that I cannot recall by myself. But I do feel like in that movie I watched with all the Avengers in it, there is a moment where he calls back the hammer somewhere.
So okay,
isn't it like away?
Yeah. Well, yes. Well, the idea is that the hammer, whoever's worthy, can.
Oh, someone else gets the hammer. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
See, I couldn't remember it by myself, but yes, someone else gets.
Who else wields the hammer?
Wait. Can we keep it to the next one?
Oh,
let's keep it for the next one. Okay. I haven't watched it and I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't even think in the Thor movies it's going to come later, right? In Avenger, it's like
it comes much later, multiple times.
Yeah,
so sorry, it's a little spoiler there, but. Yeah, but if you think about it, Kaitlyn, you'll be like, there's different moments where they address this.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and watch all of them, I think.
I have a question. Is the Bifrost thing? What is the Bifrost?
It's the bridge that allows them to travel to other Earths and other universes,
other planets. Okay, so
yeah.
I thought it was because when they did it, it seemed like they were just getting zapped there and landing like portalizing. So I didn't understand when Thor breaks the bridge. I was like, can't they just zap you? Like he got zapped there. There wasn't.
Well, it's like part of it. So they call it like the Rainbow Bridge, right? So as they're running out of Asgard, there's that whole bridge, and then it goes to the circular part, and then from there they have to put in the sword in order to get shot anywhere. It's kind of like a bridge extender.
Like a runway. Okay.
Yeah,
it's like a runway to the... Okay. That is specifically facing Earth.
Yeah, because they can go to all different types of Earths. They can go to Earth. They can go to where the frost giants were. So that's the idea behind that.
So, but with them breaking it just, you can't go to Earth. You can go to other planets still.
No, they can't.
Earth.
Well, they can't technically go to anywhere where the place let them go before.
I see.
The whole idea, though, is like, since Loki's a trickster, he knows other ways.
Yes.
So that kind of becomes a thing that they kind of gets more vague down the line of like, how are they really doing this? Where they just end up having to like explain different methods of how they ended up traveling. So it is one of those things that becomes a little vague over time.
Okay, cool.
But that actually is interesting because that's something
of disbelief.
Huh?
Your willing suspension of disbelief. You're like, okay, yeah, we're just gonna buy into whatever you guys say.
I mean, I'm just like, well, because if I think about it too hard, I think my brain will break because I'm like, well, they can't go. So
don't ever think too hard when you're watching these. That's the main thing. Don't think, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Well, I think it will be interesting though, because like when I'm rewatching these, I'll now pay attention more to be like, how are they explaining how they were able to, transition without the Rainbow Bridge, without the Bifrost.
Yeah.
I can think of just off the top of my head specific references, but it'll be definitely something I'll be tracking from now on. Just other quick things I wanted to mention. We've talked previously about like the use of technology and how, because it was 10 years ago, you kind of can see how some of the technology was a lot older.
Or doesn't age.
Yeah. So, you see...
I thought this still held up. It was beautifully done. Unless, Kay, you saw something.
Well, Darcy mentioned Facebook at one point. So she like puts up her phone and she's like, I'm going to put this on Facebook. So I thought that was funny because like nowadays it would be like Instagram.
Yeah.
And then she talks about, she kind of
also, you know what? They're in the middle of nowhere. I could also see someone in the middle of nowhere being like,
True. They're in Arizona.
Idiots,
Yeah. And then she also talks about how they took her iPod, and so she was like, really
Oh man!
I was like, look at that thing. Or she was like trying to hook it up to the van or something. Or no, they took it when it took everything in the van.
Yeah. And just overall how like, the mythical quality of the story of like, it's pretty classic of just like God comes down to earth. He falls in love with a woman, and then it kind of brings the idea of humanity.
Wait, we cannot gloss over he falls in love. Okay, time out. When Thor comes over to Jane and is like, I will wait for you. I was like, oh my God, God just said, I will wait for you. And then he looks at her and then you're like, are they going to kiss? And he goes, no, I'm going to be a gentleman and kiss your hand. I was like, I stood up. I was like, oh my goodness. What a way to treat a lady. Like,
she literally swoons.
I am getting hot just thinking about it.
She literally goes,
look at what's happening to me. Like, I'm like, geez.
Does he say he's gonna wait for her?
Yeah.
Or he tells her, wait for me.
No, he says he goes, I will come for you. I will.
Yeah. That
and you're like, what?
Yeah, that's when I looked over at Jack. I was like, you coming back for me?
I was like, I want a Norse god to freaking...
when he took his shirt off the first time, I was like, I was like, damn.
I will wait for you. Wait for me. I will come. And you're like, oh my Lord. And he just fought and he's sweating. Anyways, we're killing Kay right now with her.
Just like horny for Thor. Is this what you guys said when to keep it?
Oh my goodness. I think
this is great. This is great.
Title, Horny for Thor.
Horny for Thor. Listen, it had something for everyone.
Yeah.
For mom, something for dad, and something for
Oh man.
Movies are for entire families.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like it definitely brought, I think, a character to the mainstream in a way that, I remember at the time, like nerds didn't really like Thor. I remember having this impression that like nerds didn't really like it. I think because to them, it didn't really represent like what they wanted out of the character of like just this badass, like to them, they just wanted like the badass warrior side. And the whole
Can you
point
imagine
of
if
him,
they had done it that way? I don't think this movie would have aged very well.
Oh, no,
in
not at
current
all.
lenses. If they had kept him just like a badass, strong dude.
No.
Yeah.
Just been like, who
He had to
are
be
you?
humiliated on Earth.
Yeah. And and it made for such great comedic moments too. So yeah, I feel like
It was great.
I really enjoyed Thor. What?
Also, can we talk about
One of the better Marvel movies, in my opinion.
Wow.
I remember when I watched it the first time, I thought, yeah, this is fun for me. But I think it's because I like magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Harry Potter. And this was like kind of like
I
that
agree.
mythical fantasy plus Marvel.
Right now, my favorite still, I thought about this, Kaitlyn. Actually, mine is still Incredible Hulk.
She liked Hulk. She liked Hulk a lot.
I liked Hulk a lot. Look at me. I'm even wearing green today.
What Hulk movie did you like?
The one with Edward Norton.
I don't even remember that. I know I saw it, but I
You
don't
have
even
to watch it.
It's the one that's technically part of the MCU. So that's why we watched it.
Yeah.
For our one.
It's not part of the Paramount Pictures. Yeah, you should watch it. I liked it. Sidebar, guys. Okay, so you know how we realized like Loki has planned all this, and he's letting the frost giants into the sleeping chamber.
Yeah.
And he doesn't let his mom know. Like, I was like, you are being a bad son. Like, you were already being a bad son. And then I'm like, that is your mother. She is, you couldn't go tell her to like, I don't know, like be on the balcony somewhere safe. Like, you let her, she got hit by a big dude.
It's not his real mother, so he didn't really care.
I mean, he's struggling. He's definitely struggling with his identity.
Oh my goodness, Kaitlyn, that hurt. Oh my goodness.
Quincy, have you never felt bitter in your life?
Oh my god!
I'm starting to realize maybe you've never felt bitter. How is this so hard for you to understand why Loki hates everyone? It's like, yeah, you're surrounded by people who are annoying.
And this podcast has turned into the defense of Loki.
Okay, yes. Loki. Actually,
I don't know.
Loki is the hero of this movie.
Oh my goodness, Kaitlyn.
If he hadn't tricked Thor, then Thor wouldn't have learned a lesson, and then Thor wouldn't be a good leader.
Wow.
I feel like I'm in that episode of How I Met Your Mother when Barney goes, the hero of the Karate Kid is Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I will argue that every villain is actually the hero of every movie, and I'm going to stick by that. Okay, this is going to go off on a rant on why the Joker is the best hero of all time.
Okay. I'm going back to let's try to keep it light, because once we're going into Joker territory, I mean that's dark. That's dark stuff.
Okay, we're talking about. I'll have a whole separate podcast about how much I love the Dark Knight.
Kaitlyn, we'll do a bonus episode with just you and this.
And
ranting about how much I love the Joker. Yeah.
Willie, what is it? Johnny, the Willie Zabka character. His character Johnny is the hero, is what Barney says.
Yeah. Well, and they turned that into a whole series, and it's called Cobra Kai, and it's on Netflix now.
Yeah.
So guys, all this stuff keeps coming back. I feel like this was such a great movie for us to have Kaitlyn on. So we're going to transition now from any other last thoughts about Thor? I wanted to say another awesome female character was to see Lady Sif. She was great. Yeah, I love that line where there's Thor's going around. Who told you that no one can do this? And they're like, you. And they're like, and who told them that even though you're a woman, you could be like the fiercest warrior? You proved that. Who proved that you could be the fiercest warrior? She's like, me. I did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I like though that Thor goes, yeah, but I supported you, so yeah. I'm like, yeah, you did.
Like every man ever.
Yeah. Again, coming with the comedic moments and just, the classic. I mean, it's a love story when you think about it. It's a love story about a man and a woman, between man and his brother.
Pretty sure that's not how Kaitlyn saw this movie. So.
and power. It's a power struggle.
Which is so funny, Kaitlyn, because I thought you might have identified more with Thor while I was watching. I was like, oh, maybe this is Kaitlyn's, I don't know if you, I think you chose this one, right? I was like, oh, maybe because like Thor's like, rah, right? That's why I thought, but I picked the wrong brother completely.
Yeah. No.
I was pretty
I'm
sure.
for Loki. I'm rooting for Loki the whole time. I'm like, yeah, Loki should be king. He's smarter. He's,
Which is funny because aren't you the older sister?
That's what I think was baffling too when I was saying this to Jack. He's like, why do you have such an inferior? You're the prize of your family. Like you're the golden child.
You're the first daughter. The first daughter.
I am Thor
in an Asian family.
But I feel like a Loki. I think I'll leave it. In my family, I'm Thor. In the world, I'm Loki.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of this.
Oh my God, this is great.
All day.
Great. Awesome. Well, we're going to wrap that up the Marvel side and talking about Thor's side of this. And we're going to transition to the stretch and share.
Stretch and share.
So I believe what?
It's your turn.
Yes, I believe it's my turn to choose a stretch. So I want to just do like shoulders, just like rolling the shoulders. And while you guys do some of that, I'm going to share a little bit about my week. Well, it's not this week specifically.
Wait, no, okay, I have to share.
Oh, okay, you share. Yeah. Because I picked the stretch.
Yes. What? Dang it. Now I regret this. Now I'm like, wait a minute. I forgot what I wanted to share. No, Kay, you go.
Me go? Okay.
Yeah, because you have one ready.
Well, this didn't happen necessarily the past week, but it happened between the time I last saw you, Quincy. They released the 1997 version of Cinderella on Disney Plus, the one that starred Brandy and Whitney Houston.
Oh my God, that was my favorite movie. That was my favorite movie. Oh my God.
To my generation, Brandy was our Cinderella.
Yes.
Asian. The first time you saw an Asian and a
man and just diversity across the board. And I didn't know what diversity was, but that's, I think, why I loved it. Because I was like, oh, people who look different, who also look like me.
Yes. So
you don't think that was the beginning? You're like, yes, finally, it's the beginning. And then literally was the only movie for another decade.
I mean, it was so ahead of its time. Diverse cast. You have Victor Garber and Whoopi Goldberg as king and queen. And then their son is Asian. And it was just like this thing of
oh my God, I forgot about that. And they have an Asian son.
Yeah.
And we all were like, cool.
Exactly.
And we all, nobody. And Jason Alexander was in it.
Bernadette Peters was in it.
Bernadette Peters was amazing in it.
She played the stepmom.
Yes.
The evil stepmother.
Country bumpkin and a prince to fall in love. Impossible.
Yep. And of course, Whitney Houston as the fairy godmother is just like so amazing. God. Her voice.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Her voice was so on point. And if you're going to have a fairy godmother, like, it was so kind of close to life because Brandy and Whitney Houston kind of had that relationship in their careers and in, as musicians. So I watched it. I went down a deep dive into like looking at the behind the scenes footage that's posted on YouTube. Todrick Hall did a homage to the Cinderella to it and did like a medley of the songs and
really? Brandy, did he do a music video or was it just
it's like a music video.
I have to go look at it.
Montage.
Did Todrick
what
Oh, I was like, Todrick Hall choreographed that, but he was probably too young.
No. It's like definitely, it's this whole other YouTube video that he made and posted on YouTube. That's like an homage to the movie just to celebrate it since it was being released. So that was kind of the nice thing about my past week that I was just like, I'm going to indulge in this. And it was very cool and fun to relive that moment and to watch that movie again because it totally holds up.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yum.
I like Cinderella. I like any remakes, to be honest, of anything.
Really?
Did you see the Lion King remix?
I mean, not remake, but like I liked Ever After, which is like another.
Oh, you mean like a reinterpretation?
Yeah. Okay, not reinterpretations.
Yeah.
When I thought it was something specifically to mention this week, especially since Thor is a myth, so it's very much still taking different stories and different myths and recreate them in different ways. But what about you, Kaitlyn or Quincy?
Kaitlyn, do you have anything
highlight from your week?
What did I do? Oh, I shot that co-star.
Oh yeah, the co-star, and that was fun.
It was so fun. It was just like Mod. We had a rehearsal on stage, and then everyone went back and like ran lines really fast.
Cool.
The COVID protocols were intense. It was just like, I got tested before I went. I got tested when I got there. It was like on the Sony lot. So you had to go to a whole separate area that was kind of like creepy and like far away from everything. Where like you go and get tested, and then everything was just very isolated, like the hair isolated, the makeup. Yeah.
Do you think you were able to like make a connection with the people who were in your scene or before, even though everything was so isolated, or? Because they had all been like work tested and like they've been like full steam ahead. So when I came on, they were all very comfortable with like the whole system of just like, you put your mask over here right before you get on stage, like right before you get on set, you put like, everybody has a little cubby bin that like you put your stuff away there, and then you go to set, and then when you get off, you go back to your little cubby. So they were all like comfortable and like friendly. Everybody was nice on that show. Oh, that's so good. Because I feel like
such show is so long running.
Yeah. It's been on for a while. And I don't know if you can say, but like Wendy McClevin Covey, like she's, Groundlings and has an improv background. So I remember when she got that show, I was just like, oh yes, finally, like, she's something she could truly shine in.
I know. I was sad because I wanted to meet Jeff Garland, but none of them were on set. So like they have, it's whoever needs to be there will be there, and they don't call it else.
It was totally understandable.
Yeah, and then you're in little like separate cubby, like it looked like plastic cubicles, and so you like in between scene, you would just go back to your little plastic cubicle and just like stay in your plastic cubicle.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was. I mean, they're doing it. It seemed to be working. I don't know if they've had any like incidents, but. Everywhere I drove around to on the lot, everyone was like wearing masks. It was very, craft services. You know how I love to like hoard craft services.
It's all wrapped up.
Couldn't do it. Yeah. You have to like go up to a specific person and be like, can I get a bag of chips? I can't go back 12 times.
I mean, you could.
I could, but they'd be like, you're psycho. You know how much stuff I take from craft services?
I do, because then I would go to your apartment.
Yeah.
I have this. And you'd be like, I have 20 more in my shop.
Didn't do it this time. I even brought a bag, and I was like, dang.
Yeah.
It's a perk that I like.
It's a great perk.
Yeah. But it was all locked up. I'm still doing my stretch.
Oh, yes. Yes. And now I'll do the stretch while Quincy, you can share now.
So I feel like I had like 7 things penned where I was like, ooh, these were good things to share. And now I can't remember anything. And the only thing that's really coming up is I learned, I guess, that when you get your apartment fumigated, you should not be inside.
No.
Oh, I was inside.
What?
I mean, it wasn't like a tent situation. It was like where they came in and like sprayed stuff. And so,
you're not supposed to be there when
Did you take all your food out of your cupboards and your fridge and everything?
Yeah, mostly.
Food, everything.
I took all those things out and then was pissed because he didn't do all the areas. It was just like these specific areas. And then I just left the windows open and it smelled like like really intense
fumes,
nail polish.
Yeah, that's poison.
Well, where am I going to go? I have a dog and a deaf cat. Where are we going to go?
Go to sit in your car.
Wow. No, with Noon? Noon with
your parents. Yeah, where did you put your pets?
We were just hanging out.
Fumigating? I mean, I've been fumigated a few times when I was at my old apartment, and I'd leave for 24 hours.
Oh,
I think you're supposed to leave for at least a few hours.
Yeah.
Well, if I grow a tail, now you guys know.
Yeah, you're brain dead.
Who says I'm not already?
You need those brain cells.
Which is why I stay. No one tells you these things. And like,
they didn't leave you a note on your door?
No, I was there and no one's like, hey, you should leave. So I was like, okay.
The guy didn't say...
They didn't
I think you're supposed to get some type of instructions before someone comes in and sprays.
Oh, well.
Oh,
jeez.
Well,
guys.
Take all your food. You have to take all your food out of your. It's like put it.
I guess pay attention to your.
When did that happen? When
yeah,
like Thursday.
Oh, well, I guess you're still alive.
I'm alive.
Yeah.
okay. Well, maybe stay away from those
Next time you gotta go to
corners.
Kay's house.
What?
Next time you gotta go to Kay's house. I just pointed at Kay like
She's
like
sitting right next to me.
Next time you gotta go to Kay's house. You know, Kay.
This one.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I guess.
Well, now you know for next time, I guess.
Yeah.
Now I
Silver
do.
lining.
Now I do. I mean, yeah, there's
Created.
Couldn't have
Quincy
gone
learns.
to
I know I could have. I just didn't know. Like I didn't know I shouldn't be there. Like
I mean, that's something your landlord
is
should
this
have.
common knowledge? Is
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I
If
don't
there's
know.
spraying in your house for any type of like extermination or
But how is that different than if I had gotten my own like can of Raid and like this is a
If you do that, you should leave your house.
oh, okay. See, I didn't know that.
for a little bit?
yeah.
Unless I guess it depends on the area. Like if it's like throughout the whole apartment, but if it's like for a can of Raid, like in one corner, like I wouldn't leave my house. I just stay away from that corner and open up my windows for like
doing your whole
a
house.
few hours. Yeah.
So if
It
you
sounds
guys did
there's
like your bathroom, you guys would. Wow, I think
If it
I
was
would leave
just
for a little.
If it was just the bathroom, I would say close the door of the bathroom, open
I
the
did
window.
not know this.
Hopefully there's a window, and then
did
just
not
like
know
don't
this.
go in there for a few
You know what
hours.
it is? I think it's because when at my parents, I think we didn't have a lot of like bug problems that way, and I don't think my mom got rid of bugs that way, right? So because I've never seen her like use Raid, and then the only time I've seen anyone use Raid is my grandmother who lived like in an old people's home in downtown LA. And I would see her use Raid, but we never left. So it was just like, and she had like a tiny studio. So no one told her, which meant no one told.
So we're pretty much saying this has
generational.
been passed down.
This is generational. Like
It's a family
I didn't know
tradition for
because I
Quincy
just saw.
not to leave. Wow.
My grandmother didn't leave, and she's the only when I think about it, she's the only person who's used Raid. I think.
Well, she didn't leave because she's like, like Korean War stock.
Yeah.
Like dude, they were smoking cigarettes when they were pregnant.
Yeah.
But I guess they all turned out okay. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still here.
Well, let's just say for next time, try to leave.
Leave your
apartment.
house.
Yeah.
Open your
Or
windows.
at the very least, like Google a little bit, like what should I do, and then follow that.
Yeah.
Oh, see, but I wouldn't have known to do that because I didn't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
True.
You didn't know what you didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, which
Speaking of
brings us-
knowing, I do know.
When you asked.
Yes, next time I'll ask. There is something I do know. Wow, this is Quincy learns basic life lessons.
But I think I know where you're going, Quincy, because when it
doesn't
comes
know
to not
basic
knowing,
life.
something I don't know that much is about
Makeup.
is makeup.
Yeah, me neither.
It brings us-
I fixed my lights so that I could actually have good.
Good. Everyone, Kaitlyn looks super cute. She has this like knitted headband. I think she said she self knitted.
You made that,
Right?
I
Yeah.
knitted it.
It's so cute. Are you getting into knitting now?
Yeah, Jack got me knitting gear.
Needles? Knitting needles?
And like yarn. It was like Christmas. He's like, maybe this will calm you down.
You know what I
don't think
realized?
so.
You
And
started
then last week, I just started. You want to see what I've knitted since last week? A scarf,
Wow.
another scarf,
Whoa, 2 scarves.
a scarf.
Wow. Green scarf, green
And the
scarf,
scarf?
blue
And the
scarf.
scarf. Okay.
And
Blue
then
scarf. This is
yesterday, I finally
a headband.
And a headband. Okay. Good to know. I realized
This is
actually.
great.
COVID needs to end now. It's just like
Well, I'm realizing, Kaitlyn, you started dating Jack at the beginning of lockdown last year.
like last
So
January.
I don't think I've ever met him.
Oh my, no, you did. He came
did?
to one of our only improv shows right
Oh,
before
the first.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That was the one and only
one
time.
show we
Mhm.
did
had
before.
finally-
It was like a couple weeks before everything shut down.
Wow.
Guys, we were planning for our second show.
We were planning for our second show.
Remember we had the flyer go up and then we were like, well, wait a minute, I don't think this is happening.
Yeah.
And it was going to be
years
so
worth
good.
of shows planned and then lockdown.
That
happened.
second show, our first show was amazing.
It was
really fun. You know what?
fun.
We should just do them on the Zoomer, when everything comes back.
Well, I mean,
Yes. Yes, I'd
And,
love to do that show.
This is the first step of us doing things together again.
Yeah.
But I have to really also say, like, I've been looking at your Instagram and the amount of stuff that you have cooked on Instagram. Man, I am just so ready for us to go over to your parents' place and your place.
Remember when we came to your house and I roasted that chicken?
Yeah. And then you
Yep.
yelled at me because I was like, let me have some. And you were like, no!
It's my chicken before it's
I was like, you made us this chicken for our Friendsgiving.
making it with your fingers. Pre-COVID.
I miss doing that. We can't do that anymore.
You can't be picking at food with your bare fingers.
Other people's
as
food.
long as you wash your hands and we're all
I
vaccinated.
feel like nowadays, even past this, it's going to be like a good decade before we're all like,
where I feel comfortable
Oh, man.
eating with my fingers at a party.
yeah, or just like sharing straws, like
Sharing
stuff,
food,
like
sharing straws or anything.
yeah,
It's going to be
Oh, man.
weird.
yeah.
Thinking about that, I'm like, man.
But you know what we can do? We can share knowledge, and I'm going to share.
Yes.
Was that a good segue? I'm going to say it was a good segue. Okay, we're going to do eyes today. I don't even know. I guess we're doing eyes. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a clever, better way. But pretty much today we're going to learn I learned this word today, guys. The tight line. We're going to learn to line our tight line.
Okay.
And the reason you do this is to to have your lashes look fuller. Since I'm Asian, I have pretty like stick straight eyelashes and I don't have very thick lashes. So we're going to get our pencil, eyeliner, and I learned this today too. You can gently warm up your eyeliner by just drawing on your wrist like this, just to like warm it up.
Okay.
And you're going to use this Q-tip to fill in your tight line. The reason I'm going to show you, so watch before you do it.
Okay.
The reason we're using a Q-tip is we don't want to pull at our eyes because the skin around your eye is very delicate, and we don't want to create wrinkles that don't need to be there. And this is awkward because I have to move the mic. So what you're going to do is you're going to place the Q-tip on your eyelid like this, so it gently pulls back your eyelid.
Oh.
And then you're going to gently stroke the pencil. You're going to start from the center of your eyelid out.
Are you going under your eyelash or over your eyelash?
So I'm going to just show you right here.
So you're using the Q-tip to pull back your eyelid and then
pull back my eyelid. And here, I'll just show you guys.
And it's almost like you're doing it kind of along the same line as where your eyelashes are. Is that correct?
Yes.
So it's not necessarily over or under, it's along the same line.
It's along the line. And that's called your tight line.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm going to have you guys do it just on one eye, just to see the difference.
Okay.
Of like why I do it, because it'll create a fuller lash effect.
Okay. And when you started from the middle-ish and then you moved kind of outwards, are we supposed to also do it towards the middle, inside as well?
Yes. So you'll go from the outside out, and then you can adjust your Q-tip and bring it to the corner of your eye and gently line the corner.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're going on the eye.
The eye line, the lash line.
Oh, shit. I need like a mirror.
Yeah, we do need a mirror. And then Kaitlyn, you don't have to pull, you don't have to like yank the eyelid. I think that's really bad for your eye. Just gently push it. So do you see how your eyelid just hangs out here, but when you push here. So I'm gonna Kay, if you could narrate for the podcast.
Yeah. So she's putting the Q-tip just kind of like on the top of her eyelid, and then not pulling her eye open, but just pressing backwards.
Yes, there you go, Kay. Yes,
the
Kay, that's
top of the eye,
yes,
and
Kay,
then putting the pencil.
Yes.
Like this.
Yes.
And then just using the lash line.
There you go. You're doing it.
Okay. And I feel like I'm just coloring in between my eyelashes. Is that kind of the feel?
You could think of it that way. And then instead of going horizontal, you want to follow that lash line.
Okay. Follow the lash line.
But you're doing great.
I think we're going to definitely have to do mirrors moving forward.
Yes. We're going to need mirrors because
I should get a mirror. Yeah, you're right.
The viewfinder is hard. Do you want to grab a mirror, Kaitlyn?
Yeah, I'm just going to do it in the mirror and come right back.
Okay. Am I doing it? Is this?
Yeah, okay, you're doing it. And then you can adjust the Q-tip to the corner of your eye if you want to get that corner.
I see. So you move the Q-tip along the top of the lid in order to expose the
Yes.
Now I have a question for you.
Yes. Also, by the way, I noticed your makeup. You were wearing makeup today.
So I wanted to try putting on the foundation and the primer.
It looks great.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? You've been practicing?
I've been practicing. I haven't been using the concealer because the concealer we've been using before was a lot lighter.
Too white, yeah.
But yeah, just doing the primer and the foundation. I feel like I still get like my forehead still. There's kind of like shadow there. But yeah, I feel like overall I've been evening it out.
Great.
I wiped my nose earlier, so now there's kind of like redness around it.
It's okay. But it looks great.
Cool.
Kaitlyn, how was your lining your tight line?
Well, how does it look?
It looks great.
Yeah, I think you see the difference.
I think you went a little bit past your line because now it looks like you have eyeliner on your eyelid, like you drew it on. But it looks good.
I have a question. What about
practice?
Yes.
It's unusual for me to do. I usually do on top of the eye.
So do I. So when I do a cat eye, I will do that, but I always do this first because my eyelashes are so fair and I don't have like thick eyelashes. Filling it in first and then putting mascara on gives the illusion of thicker lashes.
Ooh. So I've also been using castor oil to make my lash thicker.
Same. So then when we go to the mascara portion and then you apply your mascara on with that to both eyes, you'll see the difference in terms of how thicker your eyelashes appear. And so this is kind of my base look I use when I go for commercial auditions because you don't need a whole lot of makeup on, right? So instead of doing even like a cat eye eyeliner, unless it's for specifically like edgy roll, I'll just have like pretty much just a nice base foundation, a little blush, some eyebrows, and then line my eyes and mascara. And that's it.
Yeah. I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah. So let's go.
I only just started wearing eyeliner in auditions like recently. And since we've been having to do so many self-tapes, I go, oh man, it does make a big difference.
Yeah. It'll frame your eyes. Let's go to the mascara portion. Kaitlyn, if you have any tips and tricks, but what I like to do is I like to look down at the eyelash curler and then press.
So you put your eyelash in the space.
In
between when you open the eyelash curler. Then you look down.
I look down so that the eyelash curler can catch. And then I squeeze. Be gentle.
And then we're squeezing.
And then just gently hold.
How long should we hold?
I just go by feeling like, oh, this is enough time, and do the other eye. I know a trick I recently learned. If you want to curl your eyelashes and have it hold more, you can run what is it?
Blow dryer.
Yeah, blow dryer on the eyelash curler, so it'll make it hot.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I do that for special occasions.
I feel like I'm trying to put it in the curler, but it's not catching. I'm only getting like the last Like the edge of
Oh, because Kay, that's why I think you should look down, because when your eyes are up, it's hot. Your eyes look down. So if you look at me,
down, face up.
Yes.
Okay, I think I got it this time.
Yes.
Okay,
looks good.
and then
Great. It looks curled.
it does.
Yeah, on here it does.
Okay.
You can give it you can try again. Sometimes I like to like move it to the side a little bit if I feel like my little shorties on the edges
I feel like I have more. Like
So
it's thicker on this. My eyelash is thicker towards the outside.
You can place it on the side.
Like more like this.
Uh-huh.
In terms of eyeliner, I have a question because I think it was like, well, A, do you ever do the bottom?
Oh, yeah.
And then B, have you ever heard of tattooing your eyeline?
Yes.
My grandma did that.
Yes. I feel like Asian women do that.
My grandma did that too. And I think my
Asian
mom
women.
did too.
Older Asian women, I feel like, do that.
It was mainly just to avoid having to do eyeliner, right?
Yeah. So it's like a permanent eyeline. And so you don't have to draw it. I know you can get your eyebrows tattooed. So you don't have to you fill in your eyebrows every day. It's called micro, now I think it's called, or I don't know if it's a different technique, but it's called microblading. I have friends who've done it and it looks great.
Yeah. All my cousins.
Yeah. I asked my eyebrow threader about it. She suggested no. And this made sense to me. Like eyebrow shapes come and go. Like, back in the 90s, like that skinny arched eyebrow is really in. But now thicker eyebrows are in. Like in Korea, women generally have eyebrows that go kind of straight across versus I feel like here in the States, having an arch is preferred. So I would not personally get eyebrows microbladed, but I have friends who do, and it looks great.
You know what my friend pointed out recently was eyebrows are the only thing that if you're not on trend, you look pretty much insane.
Oh, interesting.
She's like, that's the only thing that's like, you just look crazy. If we still had really thin penciled eyebrows,
you would look
crazy.
Stuck. Yeah.
You'd look so 90s.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's weird. It's the only trend where you're like,
visibly you can like
visibly you look way different depending on if you're following that trend or not.
Yeah. Huh. Are we ready to do mascara?
Yeah. That's still, I remember my mom saying that they were going to get their eyes tattooed. And I was just like, what?
See, and then I talked to my facialist. My facialist is amazing, but she is like very intense about skincare, and I can't wait until we talk about skincare later down the line. But she is so intense about skincare that she's against any sort of like injections on your face, and she's all about natural remedies because she says it clogs, it's all connected, right, with like tissue, blood, arteries and stuff, and so it'll affect actually your skin eventually it's not good because it's like so close to your eye.
Right. I trust you. You have great skin.
Yeah. Thanks. Mascara. So I think it's not good to like pump like your mascara like this because it pushes a bunch of air into your mascara, which makes the mascara go bad. So what I like to do is when I have my mascara tube, I'll like swirl it around to get the color on, and then if it's too much pigment, I'll just wipe it like so.
So pulling it out.
And I know everyone has their different technique. What I prefer to do, again, looking down, because I think a lot of women come up and stretch their eyes, which then creates wrinkles in their forehead, and you're like, tensing your face. I prefer to look down and just pulling the brush through my eyelashes.
I'm gonna go to a mirror.
Yeah.
And pulling the brush through.
Yes.
Okay. And how can you tell that you're pulling it through?
So, okay, I think you have your chin like this, like you have your chin tucked, and all you need to do is look with your eyeballs to the corner of your eye. Look to either, if you're doing your left eye, look at the left eye, or look to the left corner, and when you bring the brush, you'll feel the brush go through your eyelashes.
Okay. So I'm looking towards the outside corner of my left eye.
Yeah.
While keeping my face up.
Yes.
But looking down. towards the corner.
Yes, there you go.
And then brush it through.
Yep, and like you can give it a little wiggle.
And a little wiggle.
Yep.
While I'm brushing it through.
Yep.
Now, how should I feel like I'm mainly just getting the end of it.
Yep. So then you can hear. So right now you have your brush facing inside. So you can do the inside of your eyelashes. And then when you want to do the outside, have your brush pointing out and brush it through.
Well, I'm saying like the end of my lashes, like the lashes go out and I'm only getting like this part.
Bring the brush as close to your eye line and then pull and wiggle it through.
Okay. And I
think that'll just take practice.
I just feel like it's the difference between like I'm definitely getting the outside of the lashes.
But not like the root, right? Close to the
but then I'm just
line.
like I don't want to put it in my eye.
Yeah. I think a mirror will definitely help. I don't, I guess, need a mirror because this is how I do them, but you just gently pull them. You can just gently place and know if it's close to your lash line. If it feels like it's close to your lash line.
See, right then I was like, that was too close. So I blinked really fast. And
there you go. There you go.
I feel like I got it. I feel like I got it in a different place.
Do you want to try the other eye? Kaitlyn, did you do both eyes?
No, I just did one.
Do the other eye too and see if there's a difference between filling your tight line or not.
I kind of want to just keep working on this one because I don't really see a difference. And I kind of want to see what the difference is supposed to look like. Can you see a difference?
Yes.
You can?
Yeah, your left eye is is more defined.
Oh, wow. Okay. It looks super subtle to me. I almost feel like it looks a little sleepier. That's not right. Shouldn't I look more awake on the defined eye?
I don't know if you'll look more awake. Your eyes will just be more defined. Just like how Thor, the movie, further defines the MCU.
Oh, there it is. There it is. I was thinking more like, when they were talking about like stars and how like, she was like, look at this when they showed the map of the stars. And then she compared it to another map. Yeah. It's all about like the eyes. It's like, what can you see with your eyes? And if you define your eyes more, you can see different stars.
That's good too. I also have a third one to add. Just like how mascara is going to create extensions in your eyelashes, Thor extends what's possible in the MCU.
That's it. That's the one. You did it.
Okay.
We did it, people. Okay. We connected Thor thematically to mascara.
The product that we are using today.
Yes. We've done it.
Thank you.
Kaitlyn, what do you think?
Kaitlyn, do you see the difference?
Yeah. Well, which eye looks better?
Your left eye just looks a little bit more defined.
Yeah.
So what it does is now, it fills in the tight line. By filling in your tight line, because you don't have eyelashes like every single thing, it just fills it out better.
Yeah, I'm looking at my eyes, and this eye looks droopy, and this eye looks like awake, and this is the one I did eyeliner on.
Yeah.
Okay, so for like the past however many years I've been wearing no eyeliner in auditions, I look droopy, and now I'm like, oh yeah, I should just be wearing eyeliner and mascara.
Yeah, that's all I do for most of my auditions, unless they're looking for like rocker, edgy chick, and then I put on more makeup.
Can you tell a difference on mine, Kaitlyn?
Kaitlyn, which eye did Kay work on?
Yeah, I think it looks like this eye has the eyeliner.
This one?
Yeah.
Or this one. It's this one or two.
I feel like one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Yay, you did it.
Yeah. Okay, I think you could probably apply a little bit thicker. I think you probably went really light on the eyeliner.
Yeah.
Just because you're still getting used to, especially with eyes, it's always tricky because especially if you have sensitive eyes or if you've never done it, like I think definitely going slower is better than you like jamming it in and then scaring yourself.
Like I did with the concealer.
Oh yes,
Put it on the
Kaitlyn.
forehead.
When this launches, you have to see the episode when Kay does concealer because she looks so cute because she has concealer all over her face.
I just plotted it on, and then she was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "I guess that's wrong."
Oh yeah, concealer I learned is not foundation. Two different.
No, it's much more pigmented.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very thick.
I just started wearing concealer too.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
But your skin is so good. I feel like you don't have. I have like little red spots here and stuff, and I don't see you with spots.
I usually just do this now, and then I do a little under my eyes because I'm on TikTok.
Oh no. We aren't friends on
tutorials.
Yeah.
Are you? Do you put concealer on before or after your foundation?
I guess before.
Okay. Quincy said there's people sometimes do it before, sometimes do it after, and I've been experimenting with both.
I've only been using just a little concealer, and then just the powder. I haven't even been putting foundation really.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes you can get it if your skin's really good. You don't have to put on a full face.
Guys, they have really good skin. Just to let you know.
I drink 2 gallons of water a day. I pee every 30 minutes.
Yeah. Water makes a huge
That's what it takes, people.
I think so. I really think so. And I've been using like exfoliating stuff and sunscreen my whole life.
Oh, I can't wait until we get to skincare. I was telling Kay we're going to learn to put it on, learn to take it off, and then take care of it.
And just
I used to do like a whole routine in high school, like toner and blah, 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 blah. But then I got lazy.
I still
question.
do it.
So how would I remove this?
So you use makeup remover. There's different kinds depending on what your skin preference / what you prefer. Like, excuse me, I know Neutrogena has like an eye makeup remover. I don't like it because it feels very heavy and oily. So I would recommend use a makeup remover to remove the makeup, and then use a face wash.
Is that like a wipe? A makeup wipe?
You can also use wipes. I prefer not to use makeup wipes just because you're pulling again at your skin, and you don't want to be creating more tension on your face than you.
So when you say use makeup remover, is that just like a
so I would use like, it's like some kind of soap. It either comes in a foam, a gel, or
and
be very gentle. Like, don't like pull
gentle rubs, not a wiping.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, Kay, don't forget to moisturize after, please.
And then moisturize.
Yes, and you need moisturizer and sunscreen in the morning.
Yes, moisturizer and sunscreen in the morning.
Moisturizer and sunscreen. So many things to put on your face. But you know what? That actually is all the time we have for today. Kaitlyn, thanks so much for being here, for being our first guest and talking.
Thanks for having me.
No, of course. And Kaitlyn, tell people where they can find you.
Okay. You can follow me on Instagram at totallymoto. I'm making cooking videos.
Moto with 1 T, right?
O-T-O. Totally M-O-T-O.
Perfect. Yeah. Check out our cooking videos because they're so fun.
Making some cooking videos, you guys. Mostly I'm making them to practice editing.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I'm trying to edit. And that's also hard.
True.
I have a lot of new skills I'm developing in quarantine.
Yes. And you're going to come out with so many scarves.
Yeah.
I can see it.
You better
You're going to get a headband. You're going to get a headband.
We better all get matching headbands.
It's the only thing I know how to
headband. Yes.
Well, and if you'd like to reach out to us or find out more about Marvel and Makeup, you can follow us on all social media at Marvel and Makeup.
Yes, and you can email us at marvelandmakeuppod@gmail.com. Please rate and review and subscribe on wherever you find your podcasts.
Please give us 5 stars so our Asian moms will quit asking us if we're going to law school. This was particularly true for Kaitlyn, I believe.
Yeah, my mom told me that last week.
Last week.
Yeah. So my dream is not dead and her dream is not dead, and both our dreams are still fighting each other.
Wow. That's great. Some things never change. So thank you so much to all our listeners. Thank you so much again to Kaitlyn. Guys, this has been such a great episode for Marvel Makeup. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye. Marvel Makeup is hosted and produced by Quincy Cho and Kay Kaanapu. Quincy is an actor-writer based in Los Angeles, California. Kay is a writer-performer for Filipino AF and an alum of the CBS Diversity Sketch Showcase. You can follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Quincy Dinosaur and at Kay Kaanapu.
The music for Marvel Makeup was composed by Clarence Yap and our artwork was designed by Patty Lynn. You can find them on Instagram at Clarence_Yap and at pattylyn.jpg. See our show notes for even more info.
Yay!
We did it, Kaitlyn!
did it! And then
Hey, I like that eyeliner tip. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you found it helpful.
Yeah, because I don't really wear eyeliner that often.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, shit.